Okie dokie. Today we're going to learn about the original Adam. There's also another Adam. Well, it's not really Adam, it's Adamas. And we're going to learn about the formation of Adam as told through Gnostic texts. We're going to talk about Adamas, not simply as the first human, but as a spiritual being steeped in divine origins, bearing a divine spark, and his ensuing struggle for liberation after being ensnared by the Demiurge. Now, according to the interpretation of the Apocryphon of John, which is a Gnostic text, the myth of Adam and Eve is a bit different from the story most know today. The original Adam was called Adamas, and he was a divine creation intended to be the perfect human. He dwelled in the Pleroma alongside other divinities. Eventually, the perfect family followed when he and his consort, Gnosis or knowledge, came together and had a son named Seth. Now, since the Demiurge mimicked other aspects of the Pleroma, Adamas was no exception. He created the profaned version of Adamas, which is the Adam written about in the book of Genesis. One teaching reveals that the original Adam, created by the Demiurge, was lifeless. The beings of the Pleroma witnessed this, and they saw an opportunity to retrieve the part of Sophia's divinity that was left inside her son. They instructed the Demiurge to breathe life into Adam's body, and he did, and it transferred Sophia's divinity out of the Demiurge and into the human body. This instantly made him a wiser, more divine being than the Demiurge and the Archons. As punishment, they made him mortal and hatched a plan to take back the spark by creating Eve. This plan didn't work, as they were instead two human beings more enlightened than themselves. So, I wanted to give that little backstory. In the realms of ancient Gnosticism, a profound narrative unfolds concerning the origins of the first human, known as Adamas, a figure shrouded in mystery and spirituality. So we're going to look at that time to understand the Gnostic view of Adamas's creation. In Gnostic mythology, Adamas did not begin in the dust of the earth, but emerged as a resplendent spiritual entity. This celestial being was not the handiwork of a single creator, but the collective endeavor of divine beings from the Pleroma. The Pleroma signifies the fullness, the entirety of the divine realm brimming with potential spiritual forces, and the highest state of existence. Adamas' inception was a remarkable event. It was envisaged as coming into being with nature that was both majestic and ethereal. These divine beings, envisioning a creation resplendent with their own spiritual purity, molded Adamas to be an embodiment of the Pleroma's own luminescence. They bestowed upon him a purpose greater than merely dwelling within the confines of an earthly paradise, to bridge the profound chasm between the finite material existence and the infinite spiritual realm. And this was no ordinary act of creation. It was an emanation, a flowing forth of divine essence, like a current from the vast ocean of the Pleroma, infusing Adamas with a divine spark. And this spark was the quintessence of divine consciousness, a link back to the Pleroma from which he emanated. In Gnostic thought, this divine spark is vital. It represents the possibility of a return to the source, a reawakening to the truth of one's origin in the fullness of spiritual existence. So Adamas was not simply the progenitor of humanity, he was its spiritual prototype, reflecting the potential for enlightenment and liberation inherent in all human beings. This dramatic beginning sets the stage for the unfolding of the Gnostic tale, where the struggle to reclaim one's spiritual heritage from the grasp of the material world becomes central to the human experience. And as we get farther into the Gnostic text, it becomes clear that Adamas' unique conception and the divine vitality he embodies challenge the boundaries of what it means to be human. In the revelation of his spiritual genesis, we glimpse a narrative that constantly beckons us towards the eternal question: what is the true nature of our existence? As we explore the story of Adamas, we jump into these mysteries and uncover the essence of what the Gnostics believed to be the path to transcending the material world. In Gnostic tradition, there lies a profound narrative, one that presents a dimension of spirituality often absent from conventional accounts of the first human. It's within the essence of Adamas, sometimes known simply as Adam, that we find a unique concept, the divine spark, This is not just a metaphorical flourish, but a crucial component of Gnostic thought, representing a fragment of celestial fire that grants Adamas an intrinsic, although obscure, link to the Pleroma. So, within this context, Adam's formation is less a tale of clay and breath, and more one of spiritual casting by divine entities. His creation echoes the perfection and wholeness of the Pleroma, bearing with him a piece of the transcendent realm. The divine spark within Adam is like a silent whisper from the heavens, a reminder of his origins beyond the cosmos as shaped by the Demiurge. And the Demiurge crafts the physical world, a world that seems full but is a pale shadow of the true glorious expanse that is the Pleroma. The introduction of Adamas to this inferior creation is a pivotal event, and one that anchors the heavens to the earth through the medium of a divine luminescence residing in humanity's progenitor. However, the divine spark does more than just connect, it signifies potential. It embodies a promise that despite the veil of physical reality, there is a deeper truth, a sacred lineage that ties mankind to the stars, the realms uncharted by the eyes that only see the material. The spark is a spiritual tether, an umbilical cord to the immortal, the endless, the original vastness from which all emanated. In Gnostic belief, to be aware of the spark is the first step in a soul's journey towards enlightenment, towards the reclamation of its rightful place among the pleromatic beings. For as Adamas descended into the corporeal vessel, the great challenge became the retention of this spark's memory, a memory suppressed by the labyrinths of flesh and sense. The Gnostic texts suggest that within each of us is this very same spark, eagerly awaiting the moment of recognition, the moment of awakening to a truth much greater than the sum of our earthly experiences. In Gnostic myth, the creation, envy, and confinement of Adamas presents a narrative rich with intrigue and profound implications. The Demiurge beheld Adamas's radiant luminescence with eyes narrowed by envy. This shining entity, Adamas, was not just a creation of lesser gods, but a beacon of the divine brilliance that far surpassed the muted glimmer of the Demiurge's own making. As the story continues, we see the Demiurge's envy twist into action, unwilling to accept a presence within his realm that eclipsed his own. The Demiurge then conceived a plan to contain Adamas's spirit, the very essence of his divine light, and diffuse its glow. So to achieve this, the Demiurge commanded the formation of a physical body, a vessel as much a prison as it was an ingenious ploy. This body was not a mere shell, but a carefully designed labyrinth meant to ensnare and entangle the spirit of Adamas. This act was pivotal. It represented not just the creation of a physical form, but the intentional concealment of Adam's exceptional heritage. The body served as a stark barrier, a shroud to obfuscate Adamas's remembrance of his origins with the Pleroma. By anchoring him to the earthly existence, the Demiurge aimed to usurp Adamas's inherent connection to the divine, and mire him in forgetfulness and bind his spiritual effulgence to the Demiurge's inferior domain. As Adamas became ensnared within this corporeal form, the Gnostic myth offers a nuanced portrayal of the human condition. It isn't merely a tale of entrapment, but a symbolic narrative, a meditation on the deeper meanings of existence, consciousness, and our uncharted capacity to reclaim our forgotten divine spark. To the Gnostics, this episode was a somber reminder that true enlightenment lay beyond the illusions and shackles of the material world. Every person's spirit, just like Adamas's, was caught in a similar struggle, held captive by forces seeking to veil our true celestial potential. The Demiurge's envy and Adamas's subsequent confinement within matter serves as allegories for a universal spiritual amnesia, a condition only redeemable through the pursuit of self-awareness and inner illumination. As the story of Adamas, or Adam, progresses in Gnostic lore, a moment of profound transformation takes place. Within the confines of the physical body crafted by the Demiurge, something stirs. It's not merely the breath of life, but a cognizance that echoes with the knowledge of the ages. This awakening is referred to as the reception of Gnosis. It is as if a light has been turned on in a room that had been shrouded in darkness for an eternity. Gnosis isn't just any kind of learning. It's the intimate and direct insight into one's divine origin. For Adam, this is the pivotal turn in his saga. It is the moment he becomes aware of the divine spark that lies within him, the incorruptible piece of a grander spiritual realm that the Demiurge could neither replicate nor understand. This awakening spurs a revolution within Adam. With the knowledge of his divine spark, Adam sees through the Demiurge's deceit. He comprehends that the world around him, governed by material and lower powers, is a mere shadow compared to the truth of his beginnings. This understanding marks the beginning of his mission for liberation, a poignant illustration of the soul's yearning to break free of ignorance and transcend to the realm of true existence. The tale symbolizes the eternal conflict between the spiritual and the material, between the essence of what we are and the physical reality that we navigate every day. It is the story of overcoming the illusion of the sensible world, recognizing the sliver of divinity within, and striving toward a state of enlightened existence. The struggle is not without its challenges, for the clouds of forgetfulness and lures of the physical world are persistent. But Adam's awakening signifies hope, the possibility that, in the pursuit of Gnosis, one may reclaim their divine heritage and cast off the chains of material existence. Here lies the very heart of human experience, the quest for purpose, meaning, and the ultimate return to our spiritual home. In Gnostic texts, the story of Adam is a mirror into our own existence. The figure of Adamas is more than an individual. He is a symbol for each and every one of us. Within this narrative, we find a universal call to awaken from the slumber imposed by the material world. The divine spark that resides in him is a beacon of hope, illuminating the possibility for all human beings to reconnect with their divine origins. Adamas' journey is fraught with challenges, the chief among them being his imprisonment within the material body by the Demiurge. Yet the myth of Adamas assures us that we are not merely flesh and bone. We bear with us a fragment of the Pleroma. Now, this divine spark is our birthright and our potential for salvation. Just as emissaries aided Adamas in recognizing his spiritual heritage, the Gnostic teachings offer us a path to awareness and self-discovery. Through knowledge, we can begin to see the illusions of the material world and understand our true purpose and potential. Salvation in Gnosticism is not about redemption from sin, but about a homecoming to our original state of divinity. It is through the realization of our inner luminosity that we can rise above the Demiurge's domain. The myth of Adamas imparts that the pursuit of this transcendence is not just a personal endeavor, it is the collective destiny of humanity. All right, that's all I got for today. Thanks for listening. If you like it, hit that subscribe button for us. If you don't like it, that's okay too. Other than that, have a great day.